In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg. And it's another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix, an attorney's exodus from bondage. So, how's everybody doing out there? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone, country, territory, planet you may be located. So, we've got a great topic for this episode. It's about weaponizing the judicial system. Yeah. Yeah, that's a spicy topic, isn't it? Sure is. I got to get over this voice thing, though. Maybe losing my voice, but no, not for you. I will always be here. But I've got this crushed ice in this drink right here. It's got no sugar in it. I'm on this new fitness program, and this is super good. And I will make it through this episode tonight, no matter what. But listen, there's so much going on this topic about weaponizing the judicial system. And, especially given what's been going on in the last couple years with all the political collisions, the political wars, all the things with former President Trump, President Biden, the January 6th issue, some call it insurrection. I don't buy off on that. It wasn't an insurrection, but that's my legal and my personal opinion. But hey, you law students, you young lawyers just out there, and maybe some of you that have been around for a while, you're getting caught up in this. And from my perspective, both personally and professionally, I am clearly of the opinion, beyond a reasonable doubt standard, that the legal system, i.e. the legal matrix, has become extremely weaponized in the state and the federal courts, and as well internationally. There's no doubt in my mind, after watching the events, listening to the events of what's been going on, especially in this country over the last couple years, it's scary. It's really scary. Excuse me. And remember, at the federal level, the judges are appointed for life, except for the magistrates at the federal level. They're appointed for a certain number of years, but eventually those folks probably get the district court positions. Those, and of course, the federal court of appeals and the U.S. Supreme Court, they're appointed for life. State judges are either appointed or elected for a certain term, a certain number of years. And so they're more susceptible to the voters than, of course, the federal judge, because the federal judges are appointed. They're not elected. So this issue is something that really hits home to me, because I've been litigating for so long in the state and the federal level and dealing with international law issues too. And there's nothing that is more disturbing and upsetting than being lambasted in a kangaroo court session, or a procedure that is so definitely rigged against you that your head just completely explodes. And I've been in those situations. I've been in situations where I've done trials and the decision came from the judge, and I'm like, are we in the same courtroom? Did he or she hear the same evidence? Are we even on the same planet? And then I see how people or companies or entities, they use the judicial system as their weapon, their vehicle for this basic vindictive litigation. And again, we can talk all the politics all day long. I don't have a problem with that. And maybe you don't like some of these political figures. But here's the thing. See, the legal matrix doesn't care. It does not care. It doesn't care who it consumes. You're just another somebody to control. And that's the way the legal matrix is. That's the way the legal matrix always has been. And if the legal matrix isn't destroyed, then the legal matrix will continue like that. And that's not good. Okay? That's just not good at all. That's a bad thing. A really bad thing. And as I've been watching over the last couple years, and especially the last year, all this insanity of all these cases of former President Trump, this weaponization of the court systems at the state level, it just blows my mind. Because clearly, if you have criminal convictions at the state level, only the governor or perhaps just a pardon board can pardon people. I mean, typically, the president can't pardon for state crimes and that I'm aware of. And federal stuff, the president can commute or pardon convictions. But, I see what's going on. And I'm like, where is the leadership? Where is the leader? Where is the courage? Where are the bold lawyers, the bold jurists, the courageous and bold judges? And I got to tell you, 1.3 million active lawyers and thousands of judges across this country. Man, we just don't have the General Eisenhowers and the General Pattons, and the General MacArthurs, of the judicial system. They're just not there. They're just not there. I mean, this judicial system of ours, this legal matrix, has become so agenda-oriented and greasing the palms and who knows who and all that, it's just ridiculous. It's like, to the victor go the spoils, to whoever's in power go, use the judicial system for their own personal means to eliminate truth, to eliminate their opponents. I mean, this is going on every day, every week, every month, and every year. And it's not just here, it's across the globe. I mean, how can anybody in today's world feel that they're truly getting a fair shake? In this country, the U.S., we can't even trust our own government. We can't trust our Department of Justice or the alphabet soup of the federal intelligence agencies or the federal law enforcement agencies. I mean, there's been so much documentation and proof that's been released about how corrupt all of this is. And this all is part of the legal matrix. And yet, people go to bed at night and they don't pay attention to the judicial branch. They don't. Everybody's binge watching Netflix, the next series, or the Super Bowl, or, baseball or hockey or, whatever it is. People have been ignoring the judicial branch for so long, and it's allowed the legal matrix to grow like this ugly, ugly cancer infecting everything. I mean, everything in your life is controlled by the judicial system from the time you're born to the time you die. And the legal matrix, man, it just hugs all of it, It grabs onto you and won't let go unless you have the skill sets and the weapons to kill it off. And as we're continuing to go forward in all these election seasons, you're finding more and more the courts, just going crazy. They're going nuts. They're going bonkers. And you just look at these lawyers and you look at these judges and you're like, man, what are you thinking? And then you realize they're not thinking. And they don't care. They've got this agenda and they're going to do it, for whatever reasons, whether it's for money, whether it's prestige, whether it's a higher position, that's what's going on. And you law students out there, oh man, there's over 200 law schools and all you students, you better wake up. Better wake up right now because they're forming you to be part of this legal matrix. And yeah, you're so excited. You got your letter. You're going to go, or you're already there. Maybe in your last year, taking all your electives and you're just getting ready to, take the bar this coming summer or in February. It's usually offered twice a year, July or February, depending upon which state you're in. And You're all excited, and then you're going to get licensed. You're going to go out and be a social justice warrior until you realize, uh-oh. And after a while, you'll begin to realize something is amiss in the land. And it's not all you thought it would be. And that's a harsh reality. You will begin to see the legal matrix at work. And if you're not careful, the legal matrix will swoop you up too. Yes, it will. Yes, indeedy. And you've got to take a stand here. You can't sit on the sidelines anymore, you law students, you young lawyers, even though you lawyers have been out there a while. It's come down to the wire right here. We're down to the 20. What are you going to do? Or are you just going to sit on the bench and observe? Well, you can't do that anymore. You've got to take a position. You're either going to live in truth or you're going to die in lies. One of the two. One of the two. There's anything in between. There's no gray area. Not going to happen. And this weaponization is getting scary. I look at what goes on in other countries, such as Canada. Oh, my God. The prime minister up there, he is crazy town. Crazy town. Trudeau, he's crazy. His people are crazy. I mean, all these judicial actions they're taking by use of their courts, it's insane. I look at what's going on in the United Kingdom. I look at what's going on in the European Union, Australia. It's crazy to see what's happening in all of these countries that are using the judicial system, and it becomes now the worldwide legal matrix, man, just marching arm in arm next to each other, seeking to destroy truth, to destroy people's lives. And that was so evident during COVID. I mean, COVID was clearly a beta test for where the legal matrix was going to go. And the legal matrix gained steam and power, the likes that we have never seen before. The likes we've never seen before. I mean, there were executive orders and edicts, policies, and all these non-governmental agencies or organizations that aren't elected or appointed, put in place, all these czars, so to speak. And they ruined people's lives. They ruined their businesses, and many died alone. That's the prime example of the legal matrix and utilizing the judicial system. That's what they did. That's what's going on now. And some people are now awakening to this, and they're fighting back because they're scared, and you should be scared. You should be terrified. You should be terrified what's happening in the world and what's happening in the United States right now, today. Today. Not just yesterday, but today. And where it's going to go in the future. Because if this legal matrix is not stopped, if it is not killed off, you will not have any freedoms left. Your freedoms right now are under attack. All of them. All of them. The legal matrix is on the march, not just in the U.S., but worldwide. It's on the march to silence you, to silence the people that stand for, that fight for, that speak for, and that live for in truth. The legal matrix hates the truth. The legal matrix is like Satan incarnate. That's one of his main vehicles. That's what I believe. That's what the justice system, this legal matrix has become. Weapons, judicial system, the new nuclear weapons of silencing the truth. And listen, think about this. I've said this 100 times. If some of these people that are multimillionaires or billionaires are being savagely attacked by the judicial system, i.e. the legal matrix, and they've got all this money to hire high-powered lawyers to defend them, and some of them are still getting hammered, how many of you right now have millions or billions of dollars that you could hire the best legal teams to defend you from an onslaught of the legal matrix? How many of you? Raise your hands. Come on, raise them up. Oh, I don't see any hands raised. Well, that's because I'm here and you're there and I can't see you. But besides that, you don't. You know, I mean, you can, again, I don't care whether you like President Trump or not. I don't care. That's your personal opinion, your personal decision. But here's what I do care about. I care about the fact when a legal system has become corrupted, it's a cancer, and then it's used as this weapon of baseless vindictive litigation to basically destroy a political opponent or to destroy people's lives because of what they believe and the fact they want to have freedoms that we are guaranteed under the Constitution. The legal matrix hates the U.S. Constitution. It wants to eradicate it as if it never existed. It just ignores it. The legal matrix, it just consumes truth. It eats it, destroys it. And there's only one way to fight it. It's going to war with it. You have to war with it. And to do that, you got to be bold and you got to have courage. You got to have your domains in order. You got to have your domains of body, being, balance, business, fulfillment. And what I've talked about recently, this detox where you have to examine all of your domains and get rid of all the toxic people and all the toxic things and the toxic agencies and toxic entities that are in your life that are destroying you, and get rid of them. Because that's what the legal matrix, it feeds on that. It grows on that. It grows on destruction and chaos and lack of clarity and no focus. And that's what's happening with lawyers across the world, and especially in the United States today. Lawyers are so consumed about living in the box, being part of the legal matrix, getting the next retainer fee, until decades later, they finally realize, and it's too late. I mean, hell is truth seen too late. Really, that's true. Your life on earth, you can have a hell on earth. You can be going through that most hellish nightmare because you didn't live in truth. You ignored it until it was too late. And then, it was game over. I mean, that's happened in my life too. I'm not here talking to you about somebody who hadn't been through this. I have. And I'm standing up and now I'm fighting against the legal matrix. I can't stand it. I can't stomach it. It makes me nauseous. I hate it. I hate the legal matrix. I despise it with every fiber of my body. I despise it. I despise the corruption. All of it. And I despise the people that do not have the courage and are not bold enough to stand up, to do the right thing and stand up in truth. And a lot of them, they're feeding the legal matrix. They're part of it. And they know better. I've never seen so many cowards as I have in my time in the legal profession. And when I sat there and watched the nomination hearings or confirmation hearing of one of our Supreme Court justices who did not have the courage to define what a woman was, okay, I just sat there in total disgust. I just sat there, I'm not going to say what I thought here, but there were a few spicy words inside my head I was saying. And I just can't believe we've come to this place now as lawyers, judges, the whole judiciary, where we have allowed ourselves to become these instruments of destruction. Because we're ignoring the truth, we're making lies become truth for the almighty dollar or the almighty position or the ego, the vanity, all of that. And it will destroy you. It will destroy you. You may think it won't, and you may be cruising along right now as a law student or a new lawyer or maybe your legal career, and you're like, I feel good. Got a house, got a boat, go to the beach, blah, blah. I'm good. Make good money, blah, blah. Benefits, blah, blah. Until one day. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. The house of cards shall fall down. And guess who's going to be buried under the house of cards? That's right. You. Go look in the mirror and go, oh, uh-oh. Yeah, you. Yeah, this is a serious topic. This is something I'm deeply, passionate about fighting the legal matrix in this particular area. I've gone into courtrooms and, I've been lambasted and it was not right. It was not right. I remember some litigation I was involved in years ago about the way we elect our district court judges, and what was the way I was treated and what was done to me wasn't right. And I'm like, you know what? It made me dig in even deeper. I was not going to put up with the way I was treated. I was not going to allow the legal matrix to do that to me. I was not going to allow it. I stood my ground. Stood my ground. And you're going to have to do the same thing if you want to escape the legal matrix. If you want to open, own, operate, and lead a law firm in total truth and be in command of it, you've got to be in command of you. You can't lead others until you lead yourself. I can't lead others until I lead myself. I have to do a daily self-audit of where I am in body and being and balance and business and fulfillment and detox off all this crap in my life and all of these domains. It's a constant fight. It never ends. There's so much temptation out there to take the easy way out, to take easy street. And you can. But that easy street, you want to know where it leads to? It leads to self-destruction. It makes you a co-conspirator of the legal matrix. And the legal matrix doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about the co-conspirators. Not at all. It'll leave you behind a heartbeat. You know that saying, no man or woman left behind in the military? Well, guess what? It's not what the legal matrix says. It says, adios, arrivederci, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. What it says to you. It's what it says to you. That's why it's critically important to build this army of lawyers, to live, to operate, to fight, to war, and collide in total truth. Against who? The legal matrix. You law students, you really got to wake up. What's going on in the United States today and the information that you're being fed and what you're consuming, it's going to train wreck your life. It really is. And you think it's not, and you think it's all cool, but you haven't been battle tested yet. You have not been battle tested in truth yet. And you can go along and live the lie, be the co-conspirator of the matrix, but one day your life's going to implode. And it will. And you may think it won't, but I'm telling you, you continue in the path of the legal matrix and you're done for. All you've done is sign your death warrant. You become the walking dead. You might be young now. 20, 30 years from now, it's 20, 30 years later. Yeah, you still may be young by today's standards. But you're going to look in that mirror. And you're going to go, uh-oh. You're not going to recognize that person. You're really not. Can't emphasize this enough. The weaponization of our judicial branch is the worst thing that has happened to this country. The judicial system, the branch, was supposed to be the last reservoir of integrity to keep things in check. They weren't supposed to walk all over their co-equal branches, but they were the last reservoir to keep things right, to keep it on the straight and narrow of truth. And now the judicial branch has become a puppet of the puppet masters who spin everything, where truth now is lies, and lies have now become truth. We've twisted and we've spun everything, and when we've done it through laws, legal actions, the court systems, that's what we've done. This is what we have allowed to happen in our country. And now we are reaping what we have sown. Our country and this world is in total chaos, in delusion and in deception and living in lies and trying to eradicate truth. Trying to eradicate truth. And if you sit back and you allow it, then you are no better than the legal matrix itself. So you need to ask yourself the better questions. And there's a lot of them. You got to start with, where am I failing to stand up for truth? Where am I failing to stand up to fight and combat and collide and war with the legal matrix? Because if you don't, the legal matrix is going to destroy you. I can't make it any more clearer than that. It will destroy you, and you will lose everything. And mostly, you'll lose you. Okay, you've got something serious to think about. This is a serious topic, and I want you to take it seriously. I want you to take it seriously. That's why I'm forming Legal Warrior. That's why we're fighting the legal matrix. I've had enough, and you should have enough too. So, this is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg. Love and light, and I'm out of here.